Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, Sir Philip Sidney found himself wounded and weak. The clang of swords and the cries of soldiers echoed in his ears as he lay on the ground, his strength draining away. He knew he had to get to safety if he were to survive this ordeal. With the help of his comrades, he was carried to the base camp, where medical aid awaited. As he lay there, his parched lips and dry throat reminded him of his urgent need for water. The scorching sun seemed to amplify his thirst, making every swallow a desperate yearning. His thoughts were consumed by the simple desire for a refreshing sip of water. A glass of water appeared suddenly, brought by a young soldier who had noticed Sir Philip's plight. The glistening liquid within the glass beckoned to him, offering the promise of relief. But as he was about to grasp the glass, he noticed a wounded soldier lying nearby, his eyes fixated on the water with an intensity that spoke of his own unquenched thirst. Sir Philip's gaze shifted between the glass in his hand and the wounded soldier. His heart swelled with empathy and understanding. Despite his own desperate need, he realized that the soldier's condition was even more dire. With a newfound strength of spirit, he turned to the wounded soldier and extended the glass of water to him. The wounded soldier's eyes widened, disbelief mingling with gratitude. He hesitated for a moment, as if unable to comprehend the selflessness before him. Then, with a solemn nod, he accepted the glass from Sir Philip's outstretched hand. "Thy necessity is greater than mine," Sir Philip whispered, his voice carrying the weight of sacrifice. In that brief exchange, an unspoken bond formed between the two wounded men. It was a bond forged in the crucible of battle, where acts of humanity often shone brightest amidst the darkness of war. As the wounded soldier drank from the glass, a sense of camaraderie swept through the base camp. The soldiers who witnessed the scene were moved by the noble gesture, a reminder that even in the midst of conflict, the spirit of compassion could prevail. News of Sir Philip's sacrifice of thirst spread throughout the camp, inspiring acts of kindness and unity among the soldiers. It became a tale that transcended the battlefield, a testament to the power of empathy and the enduring human connection that could arise from the simplest of gestures. In the end, both Sir Philip Sidney and the wounded soldier found themselves on the path to recovery, their bodies healing as their spirits remained forever intertwined. And long after the battle had ended, the story of the selfless act born from thirst continued to echo through the annals of history, a reminder of the boundless capacity for compassion that resides within us all. The selfless act of Sir Philip Sidney didn't just stay within the confines of the base camp. It spread like wildfire among the troops and reached the ears of commanders and officers alike. Sir Philip's actions became a symbol of sacrifice and unity, reminding everyone that even in the harshest of circumstances, humanity could shine through. Word of the incident eventually reached the highest ranks of the army. Impressed by Sir Philip's compassion and leadership, the commanding officers decided to honor his actions. They held a ceremony not just to recognize his bravery on the battlefield, but to emphasize the importance of empathy and camaraderie among the soldiers. As Sir Philip stood before his fellow soldiers and officers, he felt a mixture of humility and pride. He hadn't expected his simple act to garner such attention, but he understood the significance it held for everyone present. His act had transcended the boundaries of one man's thirst and had become a rallying point for the entire army. During the ceremony, Sir Philip spoke about the hardships they all faced on the battlefield and the bonds that united them as brothers in arms. He emphasized that acts of kindness and sacrifice, no matter how small, were what would ultimately lead them to victory. His words resonated deeply with everyone in attendance, reinforcing the sense of unity that had grown within the ranks. In the following weeks, the soldiers' interactions began to change. There was a newfound spirit of solidarity that infused their actions and decisions. Sharing provisions, helping wounded comrades, and offering words of encouragement became commonplace. The impact of Sir Philip's selflessness had transformed the way they viewed their roles as soldiers and the responsibility they had toward one another. As battles raged on and challenges mounted, the memory of that pivotal moment continued to inspire the soldiers. It served as a reminder that they were not alone in their struggles and that their sacrifices, whether big or small, were interconnected. The story of the glass of water was passed down from generation to generation, becoming a symbol of unity and compassion for soldiers who faced adversity. Years later, when the war had ended and the troops had returned home, the legacy of Sir Philip Sidney lived on. His story was shared beyond the boundaries of the army, inspiring people from all walks of life to consider the needs of others and to find ways to support and uplift those around them. And so, the tale of a wounded soldier's selfless act, born from the depths of thirst and suffering, continued to resonate through time. It stood as a testament to the enduring power of empathy, reminding humanity that even in the most challenging circumstances, a single act of kindness could spark a transformation that transcended the limits of the moment.